The records are now open. Welcome everyone to the 5:15 broadcast of Akashic Answers with Emily. If you are joining me live or on the replay, it is because your higher self has guided you into this space. And what we do inside of this space is truly magical. We're going to dive into the Akashic Records. And if you are here, there's an important piece of information that wants to be revealed to you through this broadcast today. And I cannot take all of the credit because likely this piece of information that your higher self is bringing you into contact with. Now, 1 second here. We're having trouble streaming on Facebook. Well, I don't know. You just have to figure it out. Okay. If you're on Facebook and you're noticing that the broadcast is cutting out, come join us live on StreamYard or over on Instagram. We're broadcasting several places, and I will have the team make sure that we check into what's going on with Facebook anyway. All right. Well, hello, Randy. I see you in here. Lisa is here today. Felix, I see you all. Welcome. All right. So back to explaining why you're coming in here into this frequency today. This piece of information that wants to reveal itself likely won't even be through what I say. It will be through thoughts that you think after this broadcast based on new ideas, new perceptions, new ways of seeing yourself and the world. So here's what to expect. We're going to jam here for the next half hour or so together in the Akashic Records. If you are new and you do not know what the Akashic Records are, that's cool. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to bring us all up to speed. We're going to start with a quick high-level overview of what the Akashic Records are so we can all play together. All right. And then the fun begins. You ask questions, and I am going to channel for you from the Akashic Records. Not only will I channel in insight and intelligence that's designed to help us all, but I'll also bring in an activation, an energy activation that we can all use to bring more light into our DNA, into our cellular structure, which helps us to embody these aha moments better. Because I don't know if you're like me, I get great aha moments. I think about ways that I'm going to show up differently, how I'm going to do my life differently. Then I get to that moment where I could potentially show up differently, but I get triggered by something and old Emily shows up. And it takes that's really what our intelligence is. It's how quickly we make that shift from the aha moment to the embodiment, the actually being able to do it. And that's what I find these activations, these energy activations will help with. All right. I also want to say I blew it. We've had a team shift here at the Akashic Academy, and anybody out there who is an entrepreneur, you know, when there are team shifts and job assignment shifts, if there are things that fall through the cracks, the owner takes care of them. And that was my job to send y'all text messages. And the text message said this was a rebroadcast. Not true. I am live here in the flesh with you all. And for those of you who have joined me here before, you know that the power of coming together, the more of us that come together and do this work, it increases the potency for all of us. So if you would you please take a moment, share this out. Let's get some of our friends here who might have gotten the wrong information that we're not broadcasting live today. And we've lost part of our audience on Facebook. So if you can share this out, if you're not comfortable sharing, or you're like, Emily, I don't know who to share with, you can also help by doing this. Blow up the algorithms. Love, like, hearts across the screen. Say hi to me. Tell me where you're coming from. Blow up the comments. This will drive algorithms. So people who are on social media and are guided to come join us in this space will get the message. So thank you. Yes, I see them coming. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, I blew it. Human technology is not my area of expertise. It's the quantum technology, the Akashic Records. I am learning when it comes to human technology. I blew it. All right, one more little note before we get started. If anybody's wondering why I'm drinking out of paperware, I have teenagers and I have not required them to clean their closets in quite a while, and therefore I am missing lots of dishes. Give me me too, if you can relate, if you've got teenagers. All right, so let's start with this quick overview. Let me catch you up to speed if you are new. By the way, if you're new, let me know. Say I'm new in the comments. Let me catch everybody who is new up to speed on what the Akashic Records are. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective, which means unconditional love, zero judgment. You could also call the Akashic Records the mind of God. You can also call the Akashic Records superconscious intelligence. Maybe you've heard these terms used. I grew up very immersed in the Southern Baptist Church. While I was very religious in my early years, I also spent an equal amount of time in Hollywood. So you might hear me using some strong language. We'll just say that. I tend to drop an F-bomb or two at least. All right, so don't let my religious good girl upbringing fool you here. Yay, Heavenly Touch facials new. Yay, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right, but I grew up immersed in religion, and through that lineage of knowledge and understanding, I first came into contact with the Akashic Records when it was presented to me as the Book of Life. This book that Jesus or Jesus' assistant, I can't imagine Jesus doing himself, y'all. But the Book of Life is what Jesus or Jesus' assistant writes your name in when you come forward in church and you get baptized. All right, Akashic Records. So this is a realm of intelligence that allows us to have perspective beyond our human perspective. When we incarnate into human form, our bandwidth of being able to perceive everything as one gets limited into this concentrated perspective of the physical world so that we can function and interact and relate here in the physical world. But going through that process closes off or can close off the access points that we have to perceive intelligence that is beyond our five senses. We do have the divine right and ability to turn that back on. That's how we were designed. The human specimen is quite a galactic masterpiece when it comes to potentiality. And as we are waking up to our potentiality, more and more becomes possible. And this is the stage that we're in right now in human evolution, is waking up to the energy field, waking up our consciousness. Our consciousness is our ability to perceive ourselves in interaction with everything else around us. And since we are in a physical reality, we are here to experience ourselves as physical creators, which looks like creating our life by design. And most of us are still trapped in that matrix, that really narrow bandwidth where we don't, or we've shut down the perception to our true power. And so we're living a limited existence. We are miscreating every dynamic of our life based on our traumas and our lack and all aspects where we are perceiving life from the fear mind. Give me a hell yes if this is resonating. Paulette is new. Felix is new. I'm so happy to have you all here. Lynn, hello. Katie, Randy, so happy to have you all. All right, so are we feeling pretty cool about what the Akashic Records are? It's this database of consciousness that we can tap into. A couple more important points to know is that we access this through a vibrational match in our mind, our emotions, our bodies. So we go into a state of relaxation. When I'm taking people into the Akashic Records, I have a very specific 5-ohm method that prepares the body for communication. I'm not going to take you all through that today. I've done that before we started because I want to maximize our time in the Akashic Records. But that's how you access the records, is you become a vibrational match. Okay, and here's the next point you need to know is that the records only give us what we're ready to receive. How do they know what we're ready to receive? We ask questions. That's why you're here today, and the name of the show is Akashic Answers with Emily, because you provide the questions. You provide where we get to go in the Akashic Records today. You provide what intelligence we all get to uncover, which is, again, why I'm so grateful that you all show up every Wednesday and hang out with me, because there would be no show without you. All right. All right, so it's time to jump in and let's do some readings. I'm going to invite you all to fire up my chat box with questions that, think about this. Think about questions that you want to ask the magic 8-ball, questions that you want to ask the crystal ball. We want them to be very specific. The Akashic Records help us tap into direction in our life. And I know with all of this solar energy, many of you are being invited to explore new direction in your life. Okay. Also, we get stuck in areas. Being a human, we have a lot of stress in modern day life. We have a lot of repetitive thoughts and repetitive decision making that we are participating in that's keeping us stuck in lack in our finances, keeping us bitching about our relationships. Yeah, y'all in some narcissistic relationships. All right, so if there's an area of your life where you're stuck, that's a great place to ask a question. If you're looking for direction and guidance on where to go next, that's a great question. And one of my personal favorite uses of the Akashic Records is activating our unique creative genius. So if anybody has genius level creative projects, genius to you, where we all get to be our own genius. All right, the Akashic Records, this realm of super conscious intelligence, this is the realm that Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, Albert Einstein all tapped into to access their creative genius. I do say your results may vary. My results vary. I'll say that. All right, great. We got some questions coming up here. Heavenly Touch Facials. Is moving in with my boyfriend the highest, best move for me right now? Excellent question. All right, so as I'm tapping in, I want to remind everybody that even if you don't ask the specific question, but the intelligence that comes in on that question is alive for you, you begin to have pings in your mind, it's for you. That answer is for you, and there's a transmission in that intelligence. All right, so it doesn't have to be your question for you to receive the value and the insight from the answer. It is for you, and you can receive that as for you. So I have a feeling that this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. So Heavenly Touch. The first thing that the Akashic Records and the guides want to share is that we learn from every different decision that we make. And a really cool way to use the Akashic Records is to tap in and say, all right, what are the lessons that I'm going to be learning that are going to be exciting and fun if I move in with boyfriend? And what are the challenges going to look like? Where are our traumas? Where do our traumas get to collide and create opportunity for growth? Like, what's the gritty part going to look like? And then once you begin to see or feel into the good, the bad, the ugly, you can make a choice, an informed choice, if that is what you want to experience. Because what the guides say is truly what's in our highest and best is following our joy and truly getting in touch with what we desire. And sometimes we can make decisions like that because it feels like the right next step, or we have an underlying insecurity around our safety, and we want someone to make us feel safe. And it might not be the exact right person that checks all the boxes on our list, which that's a whole nother topic. I mean, there's perfection and imperfection, but there's value in getting specific about what you want too. Right? But if you are truly settling, if you get really honest with yourself and you're settling, and that invite to move in feels like an invitation to create safety and stability in a family unit that you are desiring, but there's something off. Sometimes we can make those allowances to create what we are lacking, because there's, if that's the case, usually there is a trauma from childhood or our own experience that we desire to experience differently. But let me tell you something, most of the time we don't have the tools to experience it differently unless we come from this higher level of understanding. Okay, how was I programmed? Why did my family break down the way that it did? How do I get to move forward? Right. Hey, Terry Todd, I'm glad you're here. This is a new level of mindfulness that the Akashic Records allows us when making decisions for our life. Right now, humans work on default mode. We just tend to follow the impulses, and impulses are different than instincts. All right, instinct is your ability to know something instantly. An impulse is a compulsion to move in a particular direction. And it can be really challenging to know if our compulsion to move, that drive that we feel that moves us, is coming from a habitual behavior that might not be best for us, or if it's actually coming from a soul yes. Cool, you guys follow me? All right, so back to the original question. The guides want you to do some work, Heavenly Touch, to really get honest and clear and quiet with yourself if this is what you desire. And then if you can say, yes, this is what I desire, go into a state of meditation and ask those questions. Okay, cool. Let me know if this is resonating. If you got something out of that, we're going to do the activation next. When you see me doing this charade thing, I'm meaning like hit your hearts, thumbs up, likes, blow up the algorithms for me. All right, let me tap in and see. Okay. Desire comes from the sacral chakra. This is our womb area. This is also where we create. It's where our sexuality, our creativity resides. And holy cow, most of us, myself included, still have aspects of healing that get to be done in that area. So I'm using my tuning fork right here. What happens when we are experiencing dis-ease in our sacral chakra? It's because we have stored emotion. Releasing this stored emotion can be heavy work because we release it, it comes up to be seen, and it needs witness. You've got to face and feel and then choose to release it. But what happens is sometimes you can forget. It might not come up right away. It might come up in the next 24, 48, 72 hours, and you forget that you hung out here with me for a while, and I owned on your womb. We got to second base together. You forgot that you agreed to release this, and all that comes up, and you attach yourself to the emotion and the old storyline, and then you feel like shit. So I don't want that to happen to you all. I'm going to also add in some third eye, higher level awareness so that you can remember that you did this work, and then this is just the pattern coming up. All right, so if you want to release or experience this clearing of the sacral chakra, bringing balance and light into our sacral chakra, bringing harmony, releasing some of that stored emotion that's not processed yet. And come on, processing your emotions isn't hard. Go sit under a tree, cry it out, let it go. Call a friend, phone a friend. All right? Be vulnerable. Let it rip. Do some journaling. All right, good. Yes, I see you. Yes, thank you all. Thank you. All right. Linda Addington has a question. I've been busy building my business and I want to get back to writing music. I wonder how I can weave the two together. Ooh, Linda, I want to bounce out of my chair. All right. Writing music is a gateway that opens you up to higher and higher levels of inspiration. So writing music should be a part of your self-care process that allows you to keep the highest vibrational frequency possible. And the guides say start there, because once you marry these two and see that level of relationship, just take all attachment to outcome or need to create the business or have all these pieces. Like the guys are saying, let it loose. Breathe into it a little bit. Breathe into it. You're on the right track. Bring the music into your self-care practice that prepares you and charges you to go into your business. Okay, start there. Because I'm feeling that that's going to be an exponential vibrational frequency raise for you. That's going to open up completely new insights. Completely new insights. All right, Linda, and the guides are also saying that you've had this hunch and you may already be doing it, but it almost feels too easy. Don't we want that? Don't we want easy? Don't we want easy? All right, so that's what the guides want to bring in, is they want to bring in an activation for ease and grace in our life. And in order to have ease and grace, the guides are saying the physical body must replicate a it's like, okay, so what they're saying is you've got to I'm just going to do a take two. Whatever guy was explaining that before is a little confusing, although I'll get back to him. It's super simple. You just have to become a vibrational match to ease. And if your body is tense, you can't create a vibrational match to ease. So doing things like yoga, getting a massage, relaxation, breathwork, the physical body must be at ease for you to do your work at a level of mastery. Quote the Akashic Records on that one. That was a good one. Okay, and the guides say we need permission to be at ease. So let me bring in an activation around permission to be at ease. Whew. We're going to work in the root chakra. Now, root chakra is at the base of the spine. It's red in color, and the root chakra controls it. It's like it's the radio dial for how safe and secure you feel in life. It's connected to survival energy. And it relates to us in human terms as, do you feel physically safe? Do you feel emotionally safe? Do you feel financially safe? Do you feel spiritually safe? It's your safety and security. All right. And many of us have been on guard in different ways in our life. All right. The PTSD, the nervous system flares up and causes an interruption in our peace. And so in order to correct that, the guides want to bring some light and energy into the root chakra. If you want to receive that, type yes. Okay, and the guides are saying this is going to come as an actual choice for you because it's also tied into worry. And what happens is anytime our survival feels like it's being threatened, it like flips a switch, worry mind to go off. And my beautiful friend and wise colleague, Nikula Das, and former business partner for that matter, made an awesome video about it this week. And yeah, I actually reached out to him just to say freaking great video. But he talked about if you are still experiencing worry, worry is a symptom of a mind, of the mind. Specifically when your mind is connected into the fear matrix, that construct. What you want to do is you want to connect your mind into this other matrix, this superconscious intelligence, the Akashic Records, and allow yourself to begin to think from God mind. Yes, you can learn to hold this state 24/7. I'm not there yet, but that's my pursuit. If you want to show up in life and operate at a state of mastery, being able to tap in yourself to the wisdom, guidance, and clarity that comes from the Akashic Records is invaluable. All right, speaking of, I'm going to take a pause here for just 1 second. Drink out of my paper cup. The Akashic Records are cool, aren't they? Let me know if you love them like I love them. It's created so much opportunity for shift and change in my life. Once I discovered the Akashic Records, I had a career shift, a timeline shift. I was a Hollywood actress for 20 years before that. And holy cow, what I recognized was the most powerful, inspiring story of human potentiality and what's really going on this planet, what you're really participating in, which is a shift of culture that ignites a revolution where this amazing human genome that has been created and constructed, this galactic masterpiece, we can operate and create in a way that is paradise, that is heaven on earth. That is the experiment that we're in right now. And when I tapped into this bigger storyline of who we are and what is possible for us, Hollywood disappeared. And I was married to that timeline. I was 19 years old, quit college from a small town in Missouri. I was committed, married, devoted to that timeline. I did not care how long it took me to have the kind of success I wanted. I was there for it until that happened, and it shifted everything. All right. I've also learned incredible financial breakthrough in my life. Finances and learning to source and resource wealth through my own genius and my gifts that I offer to humanity. It's been a challenging one. And when you come into alignment with your true soul purpose, it's not that you're not going to find challenge anymore, but you're going to begin to solve these areas of your life that have felt like they've kept you in challenge forever. I mean, I have been so poor at multiple times in my life. I have been on food stamps. And now I've created a multi-six-figure business. I'm learning how to grow it even more. It's so fun, helping so many of you all through the Akashic Records. All right. So if you're with me and you love how powerful this space is, and you're like, Emily, your readings are good, but give me that book. I want to read my own records. I want to invite you to connect with me. And I don't do this very often. All right. So if you are here on StreamYard, I'm going to put the link in. If you have been wanting to talk with me about potentially studying and training in your Akashic Records or traveling with me, because if you had fun today hanging out and you want more, here's what more looks like. More looks like training in the Akashic Records or traveling. And if you've been interested in doing this, but not sure if it's the right next step for you, I am opening my calendar to talk one-on-one with you. They're short 15-minute meetings. And there's an intake form along the way and a limited number of these sessions. So I can't guarantee sessions for everyone. But I want you to go ahead and apply if you're feeling the call. Okay. If you're watching on Instagram, check the link tree. We do not have this link on very often. I've turned it on and moved it to the top so that you can find it. We're only going to leave it up this week. And if you're joining me here on StreamYard, I've put the link in the comments for you. Okay. So if you want to have some time with me to talk one-on-one about training in your records or traveling into Mount Shasta, oh my goodness, Sacred Expedition into Mount Shasta, where I'm going to be taking you into secret vortexes for activation into a secret pyramid location. You're going to train with one of my great mentors and teachers. A new part of the excursion that I just found out about today, where we will go onto the mountain on Lion's Gate at night and open up a Stargate where the starships will come in and download us with light codes. And we're going to be catching all of this on camera. So super, super exciting. Mount Shasta, one of my favorite events that we do every year. All right, excuse me, I'm covering the camera there. Hi, just checking in here on Instagram. Juan, I see you. Peacefulness, yay, love and light. I see you all here. Okay, let's grab one more question before we wrap up today. Oh, it's Linda Addington. I love you, Linda. All right. Questions. I apologize if I'm not seeing your questions. I don't always see all of them. When I go back to check right after we end the broadcast, I notice that there are always comments that I didn't see live on the show. So apologies if I'm not seeing your comment here. I do try to get back to as many of them as I can after the show. Okay. Felix says, when my higher self going to be fully connected with me? What the guides are saying is that most of us are ready to experience an integration of the higher self. At all times, we remember to say, all right, let me connect with my higher self. The frequency is really close that we can at least hold that connection. But what happens is we are still experiencing distortion and things that affect our ability to not be triggered, right? We get tired, we can eat improperly, our emotions and cycles of moon energy and solar flares bring things up in us. So we've got to constantly be maintaining. It's what the guys are saying. It's less like a moment when it clicks in, and more like, let's maintain it. Let's find the right things we need to do in ourselves to hold a frequency of peace, love, and joy. And so that looks like meditating, drinking enough water, earthing, training in your Akashic Records is a great way to expedite the process. Because if you are getting triggered, especially emotionally triggered, what that will tell you is that there are areas of unhealed wounding in your life that are going to keep bringing you up and knocking you off of your energy, peace, love, joy, vibration, until you deal with it. So the Akashic Records just take you right into those places where you need to make the adjustments so you can hold that vibrational frequency of peace, love, and joy. Holding that vibrational frequency is the frequency of miracle consciousness. And if you are looking to make big changes in your life and you are struggling, the reason that you are struggling is because you are learning still to hold that vibrational frequency, the right vibrational frequency. And for the majority of us, it's a game of subtraction. We've got to look and get out these areas where we're holding on to density, trauma, pain from our past. Cool. All right. I cannot wait to connect with those of you who take me up on the opportunity that I shared with you. Carol, Annie, hi. Thank you. My energy is very strong. Thank you. It's an honor and privilege to be a powerful channel of this energy and to amplify it for you all. I do set that as an intention to amplify it for you all. So I'm glad that you feel it. A lot of times it just come out in big cartoon faces and shit. All right. If you've had fun, share this out. I'm excited to hang out with you guys next week. If you do get a message again that says it's a rerun, it's not a rerun. It's just because I'm still figuring out the technology. I'm going to have our tech team help. Try to do it myself. I just need to bring in the professionals. All right. I love you guys. See you next week.